we are exploring more and more and more into impulse responses, i.e. guitar speaker cabinet simulators, and today we're doing it with the Mooer radar. Coming up. Okay, this is a very, very interesting pedal. Now, it's hard to say whether it's not really a pedal, but it is and it isn't. You know, I mean, it's for all intents and purposes, it's built like a pedal, but where a pedal switch, bypass switch would normally be, as you can see here, and this thing does. It is a button of sorts that you can push, in and out, but it's also a rotary knob. And, basically this one controls everything on the pedal. So, it's built well enough that you can stomp on it, but it's, when you do, it's not going to bypass. So, I don't know that it's really going to be the most conducive thing in the world for a pedal board. Unless, it would be if you have it set to where you want it and then stuck at the end of your signal chain of your pedal board, you're never going to touch it. So, and to a degree, that's actually one thing it's designed to do. However, let's just get into it, shall we? There are a ton of settings inside this pedal. Just to give you an idea, the manufacturer's description of this pedal: 30 different speaker cab models, 11 mic models, 4 power amp models, customizable EQ stage, capable of loading custom IRs, store and recall up to 36 user presets, connect to PC editor via USB, supports headphones and line out. So, I am obviously using the line out mode. We're going straight into my Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 interface, which is then going into Pro Tools. You have a ton of different amp models, and I'm going to go through and play, not all of them, but a lot of them. Just a quick strum here. This is the clean signal. There's not a way to bypass this thing, at least not that I have found. So, once you got it plugged into your signal chain, it's on. But, the cab IRs, the impulse responses actually seem to be pretty accurate. And most of them, the descriptions are actually pretty accurate as well. And you get a pretty good idea of what they're supposed to be modeling. There's an AC-15. Twin reverb. Which is actually pretty clean. That's a great sound. Great sound. I like that one a lot. A couple different twin reverbs. Matchbox, lovely and matchless. AC-30. With a couple different speaker types, I'm assuming. Let's see, you got a Super Reverb, 59 Bassman, the 1960 AG. I'm assuming this is a greenback model, and I actually really like this one. BT. So it's a straight cab with, I'm assuming probably, good old-fashioned GT 1275s in it, maybe. And then that would be the Vintage 30 cabinet, among others. UK Citrus, that's obviously an orange cab. Solo L. I think that might be a Soldano or something. And the reason why I say that is because as you scroll a little these. And use a cat or a diesel or something. And here's all the bass cabs. SVTs, etc., etc. So, give an idea of what we got. There's a couple of other things that you can do here. I'm going to go back to this Marshall, what I'm assuming is a greenback cabinet, because I kind of like the sound of it. When you hold the button in, like so, that brings up this menu, and this is where this pedal / device gets really interesting, because you have the option to turn the power amp. You can model a power amp if you want, on or off. Right now we have it on. We can turn it, click on it once, and then you scroll the old knob to turn it off, and then bypass it back out of it. So we'll go ahead and leave it on for now. Then you can actually select which type of what type of power amp that you want to use, be it EL34, there's an EL84, 6L6, and 6V6. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with, let's go 6L6. Why not? And then of course, your input, presence, and output controls can all be controlled from there as well. And I'm just going to leave those where they sit for the time being. Then there is actually another screen that you can go to. You actually have the option to turn the cab on or off if you just wanted to use the power amp, for example. So, say for example, I wanted to use this pedal and go into a power, a power amp model of some kind, and then use, say, one of my virtual cab simulators. I can do that. But I'm going to leave the cabinet on. Because I like it. And you can change the mic, of course, the good old-fashioned SM57. There's an SM58, MD421, that's a Sennheiser. It's actually my favorite. MD441, and then of course you got your collection of high-end Neumann condenser mics. There's U47, U87, I believe. There's a Rode NT1, and then it's got a selection of a few MXL condenser mics in here as well. I'm going to go back to the MD421. You can control the mic volume. Where the microphone, the C edge, that is your microphone placement. C edge standing for cone. So how close to the dust cone the microphone is, or to the edge rather. I'm going to leave it pretty much just right off of the cone, and the distance the microphone is to the speaker itself. So if I can crank, I think if I go all the way down, 0 is no distance. Then you can go up quite a ways. Change the sound. I'm going to put it back where it was. 7. And there is yet one more page full of controls that we can get into. And this is, of course, your graphic EQ, and just because I don't want to mess with any of it, you got your high pass, low pass, etc. I'm going to leave it alone and save that setting. Let's put it on user. Let's just make this one user number 1. How about that? Let's save it right there. Save successful. Now we are in user number 1. Let's hear how it sounds with a little bit of my favorite metal distortion pedal, shall we? Just keeping with those same settings. 412 cabs. Actually, let's keep right there at the 20 reading. I like that one a lot. A lot of different sounds, a lot of them pretty accurate. That's what we're on right now. So, tons and tons and tons of great, real, authentic cab sounds, cabinet impulse response tones to be had out of this thing. Let's run this pedal into a track demo and see how it sounds in a mix. So there you have it. I hope that you have enjoyed my demo of the Mooer radar. A very, very, very handy little device with a number of uses. There is one drawback to this thing that really I don't like, unfortunately, and I have to mention it. You see the size of this pedal as it relates to my hand. Now, you see the size of the box that this thing came in. The reason why a pedal of this size would come in a box that big is because, unfortunately, it does require its own power supply, as this is a 12-volt input. It does not run on 9 volts, unfortunately. So that is going to make planning a pedal board a little bit more difficult. 12-volt input pedals especially are not nearly as common as 9-volt, and unfortunately they're even less common than they used to be. So hopefully if Mooer ever comes out with another version of this pedal, they will make it a 9-volt input, because that will make it much more convenient for everybody to use. Beyond that, I think it's got great tones, great modeling sounds, a ton, just an absolute ton of options. There's no reason why you wouldn't be able to get a great sound out of any rig using the Mooer radar. So links to all of the gear used in this video will be down in the description. Please leave me a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. And if you have any experience with the Mooer radar or any other cabinet impulse responses that you may have tried, I'd love to hear about them. Last but not least, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right about down in there, yonder area, as well as the alert icon right next to it. That way you make sure that you don't miss out on future content of this video, or this channel rather. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.